Bertemu kembali. Adaptasi kepada teknologi berlaku begitu pantas sejak pandemik melanda dunia dan di rantau ini adaptasi yang sepatutnya memakan masa lebih 5 tahun dicepatkan kepada hanya 2 tahun. Namun bagaimana penyelesaian teknologi khususnya buat perusahaan mikro, kecil dan sederhana memerlukan kepakaran khususnya sememangnya ditawarkan dalam pasaran dan juga salah satu syarikat yang menyediakan khidmat seperti ini adalah Grayscale Technologies, anak syarikat TechnoDex Accubits yang memertai perjanjian bersama dengan Accubits Technologies Private Limited dan ia sebagai sebahagian daripada misi Grayscale Technologies untuk menggabungkan teknologi pintar dan inovasi ke dalam penyelesaian industri tradisional dan proses perniagaan kerjasama tersebut akan memperkukuhkan penawaran perkhidmatan ICT TechnoDex serta komitmennya untuk memperkasa dan juga membolehkan pelaksanaan inisiatif industri 4.0 di rantau ini. Bagi mengulas lanjut, kita bersama dengan Pengarah Eksekutif TechnoDex Accubits Mohammad Azizuddin Shahruddin dan juga Ketua Pegawai Pakar Strategi Accubits Technologies Thaha yang bersedia pada ketika ini. Gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us. First of all, share with us about your collaboration and how will it benefit your companies and also this region in terms of IR 4.0. Maybe we can start with Azizuddin first.
All right, thank you. So we recently had our partnership signed and sealed in Dubai Expo a couple of weeks ago. We are entering a joint venture within our subsidiary Grayscale Technologies as well as Accubits Technologies. The idea or the main focus for this partnership will look forward in forefront business blockchain development as well as tokenization. At the same time, for TechnoDex and Accubits, we also will venture into AI solutioning, as well as we also had our partnership recently also in Dubai, MOU with a Finland group friends that's into API automation. So overall move, what we are into, it will help a lot of companies, SMEs, to enable them into IR 4.0.
Yeah, Shami, would you like to add how has the collaboration, benefit your company and also the region as a whole?
So through this partnership, we're looking to bring our global experience working with clients across the globe and also the know-how in IR 4.0 technologies such as blockchain, AI, and big data as well. We worked across different segments of customers from large to medium-scale enterprises as well as federal government entities. We're looking to leverage that and bring that to the region to bolster the economy and to kind of advance the scale at which the emerging tech adoption is happening within the region.
Every client is unique, definitely, and has different targets, and it certainly requires specific solutions. How are you guys going to cater to these differences?
So we follow, what we call as a time-tested process of helping customers navigate through, a discovery process, right? So where we understand their as-is business, their challenges, the market landscape, the competition that they're in, and the vision for the business and the company as such. So we leverage our experience working with, global clients and look at what unique innovations that we can bring to that business so that they can outperform their competitors, and also look at, whether a business model innovation is required. So it's not just about bringing a technology for the sake of, implementing a technology, but also looking at how it will advance their business in the forthcoming years and the future to come.
For Grayscale, Azizuddin, of course, Grayscale understands the market better, Malaysia and this region better. What is the opportunity? How big is the opportunity, if you can share?
Well, I think in terms of digital transformations, I would say it's still big enough. It's still large enough. I would say at the moment, perhaps only the large companies are able to do this, or they are in the midst of doing this. And there is a lot of opportunity and room for SME at large in the region. So I think opportunity-wise, it's sizable enough, and I think this will go along for the next few years, perhaps for the next 5 years, to have everybody moving into, new things in digital transformation and whatnot.
Help us to understand how has the COVID-19 changed the way we do business, especially when it comes to automation, especially for this region?
Okay, I think automation is a big word itself. So what we are seeing is I would say in a way thanks to the pandemic, I think we are seeing companies from large to small. Everybody is embarking into internet services, going online and whatnot. And because of this, there is a lot of need in automation because the processes, the back-end processes, the supporting processes need to be automated because everything is moving fast, right? So I think because of this, people are seeing there's a lot more demand and requirement for in the automation space.
Yeah. Shami?
Yeah, to resonate what Azizuddin was saying, the pandemic has basically forced businesses to look at how they can be future-proof and not completely go into the whims and fancies of a lockdown, and they need to operate and they need to continue. And that's been a big realization for most businesses. So they have now embraced automation to not just look at how they can eliminate certain tasks in which are repetitive, but also help people advance or get better at their jobs, or look at better efficiencies. So it's actually helped people to kind of adopt some of these new processes as well.
Shami, help us to understand, because a lot of companies take a very cautious steps in investing into new technologies, or for small businesses, they are careful in making investment decision per se. Do you see this as a challenge, and how do you convince them?
So financial prudence when investing in any new technology is something we highly recommend to any of our clients, right? So our approach is to identify solutions that have a positive return on investment on the business in the mid to long term, while helping the business leapfrog in the marketplace ahead of its competitors. So we don't see this as a challenge, but it's an opportunity to work with businesses that could explore better ways of doing business. So we've always seen that as an opportunity rather than as a challenge. And for customers as well, they're now able to see better returns and being able to identify newer opportunities which they may not have explored before.
Yeah. Azizuddin, do you see this as a challenge, especially for Malaysia and this particular region, the Southeast Asia and all that?
I would say I agree with Samir. I think this is opportunity, a unique opportunity. It's not really a challenge. I would say it's a nice challenge to explore with. But I think the approach, obviously financially as well, we need to look at their financial investment. We will have that with impact analysis and whatnot. And I think at the end of the day, it's the business model where, in our case, I think we are also looking at or willing to explore win-win situations with the client.
All right. Yeah. What are the trends for the next 5 years, at least, in this region in terms of adapting into technologies? Let's start with Azizuddin.
Well, I think the big word at the moment is blockchain. And obviously, the whole world is still new and exploring blockchain, but it is showing the stability and I think more use cases. And I would say in 5 years, there will be a maturity of this blockchain, and probably a lot of industries will embark on it and use it as a technology. Yeah.
Yeah. Shami, for Accubits, how do you see the trends in the next 5 years, especially for this region?
So I think there is definitely an adoption of blockchain and crypto as such, but I think there are general trends that we're seeing in terms of adopting remote work, blended work models, innovative payment and fintech solutions, automation in general, and maybe in the forthcoming years we might even see adoption of newer trends such as the metaverse and virtual reality as well.
But do you think that the policies around this region are supporting enough in terms of adapting to new technologies, blockchain, etc.? Shami?
Yes, for sure. I think there's no running away from it. I think the region has been adoptive. And embracing, and they've been very positive towards it. Obviously, with any region, there have been quite a few back and forth. I think the regulators is something that every industry should be looking forward to. In terms of the adoption as such, I think in the forthcoming years, every industry will have to keep up to speed with the global needs and demands of the digital economy, and that's where the industry would drive towards.
All right. How can businesses adopt technologies and innovation sustainably, especially for emerging markets? How should companies allocate financial and non-financial resources to execute this adaptation and all that?
So, having worked with businesses ranging from, say, startups to large enterprises or government entities, we've understood the needs and demands of various customer segments. Now, every business, before embarking on a digital transformation journey, needs to align their technology strategy with their business strategy. Now, the adoption of technology within a business has to lie with the core business objectives and the needs and requirements to help them achieve it in a very dynamic market that is today, right? And to keep up with that competition that's coming up. So the allocation of resources should be based on those strategic milestones that the business sets for itself in the following quarters and years. So it's really a decision about where the business is going towards and how will it help achieve those goals while keeping abreast with all the changes that are happening in the economy, including the pandemic.
As you said, for Grayscale and also Accubits, how do you see the competition, especially around this region, in providing this kind of services to MSMEs in Malaysia, in this region and all that?
Well, I think, yes, there's always competitions. We are not in this field alone. But I think for us, this is something that we are specializing and focusing at. And with the help of Accubits being a global company, I think we should be able to be one of the key players in the market pertaining to all this blockchain, AI, and etc. Yeah.
All right, thank you so much, gentlemen, for joining us this morning. Itu tadi merupakan Pengarah Eksekutif TechnoDex Accubits Mohammad Azizuddin Shahruddin dan Ketua Pakar Strategi Accubits Teknologi Thaha membincangkan tentang kerjasama antara dua syarikat ini dan bagaimana adaptasi kepada teknologi ini akan dipermudahkan dan juga dipacu oleh kedua-dua syarikat ini dalam perkhidmatan yang mereka berikan dan juga sediakan. Sudah pasti ini adalah trend bergerak ke hadapan yang tidak boleh dielakkan, inevitable, dan juga persediaan MSME yang menonton pada ketika ini adalah peluang untuk melihat kepada teknologi baharu, bagaimana ini boleh diadaptasi dan disesuaikan dengan perniagaan masing-masing. Sekian saja untuk Niaga AWANI jam ini. Saya Najib Arif. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.